Welcome back, everybody, to On the Edge of Shadow. I am your narrator, Blackthorn, and I would like to welcome a veteran player back to the fold after a years hiatus from us. Alex, do you go by Regal Raccoon when you stream? I can't remember if you do anymore.
No, I've changed it multiple times, and I don't know if I'm ever going to
Oh,
be happy with the name.
but anyway, he was a previously known as Regal Raccoon, but we do on these bloody sands of Arklanar, we are uh, happy to welcome a virgin upon its sands and to this system. Terry, thank you for joining us. A veteran RPG player, but again, new to this system. This is chapter 1 of the Crypt of the Elephant. The three of you are unacquainted with each other as you travel along, not together, uh, down a desert highway, a well-packed tradeway from between uh, a loose web network of villages. You approach a village known as Tathoon, of roughly about 400 souls, men, women, and children. Tathoon is on the edge of a region of Thorana known as the Tamazgir, which which means the Green Corridor in the local trade language, which is Yaith, the predominant indigenous people of Thorana, or the Yaithites. The three of you meet at one of the gates, one of the southern-facing gates of this village. Is a walled village, as many of you natives would know. A lot of these villages are seasonally raided by the deep waste desert raiders known as the Telushites, and these villagers find it a necessary investment to fortify their cities. You meet at this gate these these village guards. They do not accost you in any way, but they do let you enter the town. It is night as you enter this village, and the populace is beginning to wind down for the evening. The most apparent features of this village, you can tell that its primary industry is a fishing village on one of the banks of the River Fai. Another industry is ferrying tradesmen from one bank to the other. The river, known as the River Fai, is, if you look at the Mississippi River or at the Nile, it's quite wide at this point. It's a very formidable geographical barrier. There are racks of fish drying in the evening breeze. A few people are tanning hides and fish skins to for several different forms of industry here. You're not traveling as a group, but you're all in the same general vicinity. Terry, would you describe Gris for us in this scene?
You see a young man, maybe 17, 18 years old, and he is very well worn from the road. He is a Nephite, if I pronounce that right. very slight build, even for those of that race. Small in stature, very tan skin, hair cut short. Very obviously not a formidable warrior. Wears a summer cloak, has a backpack, and is rather conscious of these people around him. The satchel that he keeps at his side, you'll notice he snugs it a little bit closer to himself. And is just taking in the village, but also eyeballing kind of the group around him.
Excellent. Alex, would you describe Zirak for us?
Zirak is a man of the Talushite. He is let's see here. He's about average height for their people. He has his hair is kind of like shoulder blade. It's a little bit longer, but it's not like flowing long. He has mostly blue hair. He has a streak of black. Just one streak that strips all the way down the middle of his head, almost like where a mohawk would be, but it's just a streak of black, a nice thick streak, about as wide as his mouth. And that streak extends into his beard, his mustache and beard. So it literally frames his mouth. It's in between his mouth is black hair, and all of his other hair is blue, hair and facial hair. He has pretty plain clothes. He has the soldier build about him. He's pretty no nonsense. He's a stern look to him. I'd say that pretty well describes him.
Excellent. Now we go to Helani. Would you describe your character for us?
Helani is also a Talishite. Age-wise, he would be in his mid-20s of cycles thus far. Remind me, narrator, what are the riding lizards called again? I cannot remember.
It's called a bantoon.
Yes, bantoon. You actually will see him coming in on one of these majestic creatures. It looks weather-worn and tired as all hell, though. It and Ryder have been rode basically to their breaking points, and they are in severe need of a spot to rest. He's a pretty big boy. He sits just under 6.5 feet high. Muscles upon muscles that could very easily break anything that gets in the way of them. His hair it's shorter than Zirak's, but it's enough that if it got wet and you put your hand through it, you could spray everyone in your way. His beard is long enough that he can put multiple braids into it and kind of interlock it. At the moment, it is looking on the scraggly side once again. Sand and travel will do that to a person. His skin is usually just got a very nice tan color to it, nothing too dark. He unfortunately not get the olive color that some of his people are known for. He's kind of on the lighter side of that. His eyes are a very deep brown. Some would say, if it catches correctly the ear, it looks like honey pools, or it looks like black voids. So it can either be very nice to look at or very intimidating all at the same time. He carries, he has a long axe on his back as well as a hand axe at his side, both of which, of course, are clasped and not at the ready. One can see a set of armor strapped to the back of his mount. as the male is held to ride in for extended periods of time. So that is only used for when he knows a fight is coming or he has to be in a tense situation. Other than that, he is dressed in simple leathers, complete with a cloak and cowl to ward off the sun and sand. At the moment, he is, I don't want to call him more tired than alert, but it is definitely getting that way. Being who he is, he almost always has his head on a swivel. But at this point in time, he's kind of just looking for a spot to rest his weary bones.
Okay. Uh, like I said, you guys are allowed entrance to this village by night. And Halani, more than likely, you ride your lizard past these two these two travelers. The three of you are in search for a place to rest and possibly get out of the weather. The wind is beginning to pick up at this point in the evening. The sun has set maybe a couple hours ago, but there is a storm breathing. It is currently brewing. It is currently the rainy season. So squalls or severe weather, tropical storms can brew up at any point and douse the land with buckets of water, making life a little bit unbearable. And in the desert, when after the sun goes down, it is insufferably cold, plus wet. Nah, life is unbearable. Looking for shelter, and there is a gathering place that doubles as an inn, a shrine of worship, as well as a storehouse that has amber colored torches out in front of like what this it seems to be this latticed beer garden type front area where the scent of a cooked boar on a spit is calling to you. Gris, you might be able to pick out the scents of the spices being used to cook said boar, and your young stomach might grumble in protest that that boar is not in your face at this point in time. You need that food. You are half starved. You've been on the road for far too long without a warm cooked meal. And Zarak, this boar, you can see it through. It's not a doorway. It's essentially a half curtained archway that you see this boar being slowly turned on this spin. You're like, oh yes, that needs to go in here. So I think it's appropriate that you beat cheeks to get yourselves to this establishment. Halani, there is not really so much in the way of a stable here. It seems that these people are rather podunk and living on the outskirts of some civilization. As you understand it, one of the metropolis cities ruled by a sun queen known as Amasti. She resides in a city known as Tytheolus, which it would seem is some day's trek to the south and to the east of here that is on the coast. This is long enough on the road away from a large city to where these people might still technically be in the Copper Age, and maybe your late tribe might find this place to be an easy prize, setting upon these people and putting this village to the sword and possibly taking slaves away. What do the three of you do?
Halani will he'll see that there's no proper stable here.
No,
N-
there's a paddock where there's a bunch of camels in it, but
right?
is that a pasture? Is that a stable? What
No,
is now?
right. But yeah, no, he'll see that and he'll actually give like this audible sigh of just like, who the fuck doesn't have an actual stable? Like, where do you put your things? This is not correct. This is not right. I need to fix. Like he would actually think like, if I took over this place, this is how I would fix it. I would get a goddamn stable in here. But then he has to stop himself. Like, no, I can't just take this place. Not yet. Yet. He will actually. He'll walk his lizard over to the paddock and he'll find an empty spot if there is one to tie her off. Um, is there anyone there who watches over the animals, or is it just kind of honor system type thing?
Hell no. These people are podunk.
They
Put your
don't care.
animals in this pasture here.
Okay.
Everyone knows whose animals are what. There are no Bantoon here. Of course they're not. It's an expensive animal. And if these people have cattle and camels, there are no horses indigenous to this continent. So
Seeing one of these
maybe
things is
maybe something. There is somebody of note in this village now because they actually have a lizard in there. So that's the situation that you have to deal with.
he doesn't like leaving her out just there, but can't take her into the dwelling either.
She wouldn't
Yeah.
fit through the doorway.
We'd find a way for that if push came to shove, but we're not doing that right now because that would require destruction of property and possible life. We're not going to do
Yes.
that. So yeah, no, I will take her over there, let her wander around and graze. She also knows well enough that if shit hits the fan, she'll watch me as I walk back to the other building, so she knows where I am. She's not
Right.
intelligent by any means, but she knows well enough of, oh, my master went that way.
Okay.
Go there if something happens. I actually, if I see Gris and Zarok, I will give them a courtesy nod. I will look Zarok up and down as if he was one of my men, and depending on how he looks at the moment, either give him a nod or just give him a you can do better.
Stern as hell. Just laser piercing gaze. He's appraising you as much as you're appraising him.
Oh, good. Yeah.
If I can put in here, Zarok, you can tell that this is a person that comes from a position of authority. Clearly a person bred for leadership, possibly a lesser king or a tribal leader of some kind. But the issue is, why is someone like this here? Let that sit with you.
Those thoughts circling in my head then to play it smooth, to play it cool, he would I don't know, just like holding a spear in his right hand, maybe like just kind of bang his fist to his chest in some sort of salute, some sort of respectful real quick salute, like a acknowledgement.
Okay, fair.
Kind of like a we're good kind of a
Right.
motion.
Seeing that, Halani will actually stop. He was about to be like back face towards you. And he'll see that, he'll actually stop. He'll take a step back. He'll spin around on his heels and he'll give you one back. And then he will walk into the building / dwelling.
Where is Gris in this this recognition of station between these two desert barbarians?
So first off, I've never seen the lizard in any type of form, so much less up close. And this has captured my attention as hungry as I am. This is interesting. And
Would you like me to describe a Bantoon for you?
yes, please.
A Bantoon is, if you can picture in your mind a monitor lizard, the size of a horse, with quite literally a feathered crest behind its head. The males have a more profound crest and excuse me, plumage, um, similar to like a peacock. And Bantoon are normally very brightly colored. The females are slightly muted, uh, and the females are actually quite larger than the males. It is a mix of the monitor lizard and the bird of paradise, the tropical birds, such thing, and they can be born. They can be born with stripes. They can be born with quite alien plumage and such. Like I said, these entities are the size of a horse. It is an omnivore. Primarily, it kind of herbivorous in nature, but if it's starved, yeah, it'll eat somebody, or it'll eat small animals. She won't accost the camels, as they are too large for her to consume by herself. But it's essentially a quadrupedal pack animal that as replaces the essentially the charioteer in the Egyptian uh, ancient history. Like the Egyptians had a caste of warriors that were bred and trained to be charioteers. Bantoon replaces horse and chariot in this culture, in this setting. Um, they have the ability, similar to a gecko, to climb up a sheer face, which makes essentially a mounted archer an extremely deadly weapon. If you can mount several of them on a vertical face to ambush somebody from above, they can go up a wall, and some saddles are actually equipped with, which essentially equates to a seat belt, to where the rider can actually hang from the saddle upside down, and the lizard itself can, and with its claws, grip the stone or the face like that. So it as a utility and a weapon of war, a Bantoon is infinitely more useful than a camel or, say, a horse would be. But again, more rare, more difficult to train, as well as far more expensive. And this particular specimen, she lays down in the sand and goes to sleep, similarly to what a like an Egyptian temple cat would be. Just lays there, and she hangs out.
Fascinating. So 3 is just amazed at this. And then this character who is taking care of her is easily over a foot taller than me. But I find it interesting that the little acknowledgement that they did between each other means that they don't know each other. So this kind of piques my interest. I want to stick around these two and see how this plays out. So when I see that he makes his way towards the inn-ish, the tavern-ish building, I'm gonna move in, not stealthily, not trying to raise suspicion, but move in behind and enter as he is.
As nondescript as you can, not drawing too much attention to yourself, but not going out of your way to be quiet and unseen.
Exactly.
As you enter the amber-colored light, you can see that there is it looks to be like an octagonal, kind of a looks like a pit type brick and daub building. The center of this room is a kind of a fire pit, kind of fireplace. The straight up above it, you can tell that there is a like an oculus, a hole in the ceiling where the smoke can rise up and leave. And in a half to maybe like a 3/4 semicircle around this building's interior, different tables, some circular, some square, and not necessarily in a booth serving area type organization, but there are occupants here, maybe like 30 people in here. It's not an enormous building, but it's substantial. They are about half full at 30 occupants. There is a minstrel of some fashion playing on a stringed instrument called an oud. There is a dancing girl who is she ain't wearing much, and she's a very beautiful young woman, and she is dancing to the haunting music of this stringed instrument. A couple individuals are watching her dance. There are a few serving slaves going around taking orders, filling up tankards and such like. There is what seems to be a proprietor of this gathering place, seated at what looks to be like a long crescent-shaped counter. To the right of this counter, you actually see a carved wooden statue of a scantily clad woman with a copper bowl placed on what seems like an altar before the statue. And I'm not going to make you guys roll for it. It's pretty obvious that this is a statue of the goddess Ishtar. This place doubles as, like I said, a gathering place, an inn, a shrine, as well as a perhaps like a primitive hall of some kind. You don't see anyone of like a particular status, like a local lord or a chieftain of this tribe at all. The proprietor is an old man in his late 60s. This guy is ancient for this time period, and a village elder would probably be the village headman or the authority figure here, and that seems to be the proprietor. There are some people along the wall that are wrapped up in blankets to keep the cold away. It seems like this place is also kind of like a one-room circular flop house kind of place. It's a podunk village that has one big building that is serving multiple functions. And this warmth of the scene envelops you, as well as the food, the atmosphere. There is drinking. It's kind of like this low hush. This is some people sleeping in farther portions of the room. How do you guys wish to proceed?
Zarak will go ahead and I'll enter in. Probably rotate around, start going counterclockwise around the building, the interior. Pick a spot, maybe kind of in the direction of the dancing girl, but door to my left. Just kind of keeping an eye on everything.
Back to the
Trying to
wall.
Not quite, but
Oh,
but I want to have a view of the door.
okay.
um, just keeping an eye on notable patrons.
Okay.
This gentleman here who I saluted.
The occupants of this village seem like they would be a regular peasant folk. One thing that Terry, how do you pronounce your character's name?
It's Greek.
It's
The S is
Gree. Oh,
silent.
the S is silent. Okay, perfect. One thing that Gree would actually actually not point out, but he would notice here. If there are artisans in this village, they're not formal because they have no tattoos. They're not associated with any guild or anything like that. Your character probably has his tattoos covered up, though, for his own safety. That's something for you to explore as you wish. But in Zarok's case, they seem, again, it's small village folk that yeah, basically fishermen and huntsmen here. On the road, you did not see much in the way of agriculture here. Like, if there are any farms, they're more along the lines of really big gardens than actual crop fields. So these people might be slightly behind the rest of you in education or technological advancement, if that helps you.
Yeah, the look on my face is definitely not impressed.
No, this is not an impressive.
It, by no means am I better than the rest of them, but okay, this is what we're dealing with, I suppose.
And with that, Gree, where do you take a place up? Where do you post up in this place?
So in the circular-ish type room, I'm going to try to do my best to be a wallflower, and preferably something a little bit more in the shadows. I'd still like to get my bearings here and see if I can mark anyone in charge or anything unusual. At this point, I'm just kind of biding my time. If I can find some sufficient shadows, then I might dig into my pouch and see exactly how many copper I still have left, if I can afford a meal.
Okay.
And kind of playing out my next move. If funds are getting low, then I'm gonna have to strike up a conversation with some of these town folk.
That boar and the rest of the food being served with it is very much calling to your stomach. Make me an awareness test quick. I believe you have a couple grades in awareness, correct?
I have a grade and a forte in awareness.
Okay. At least that'll be a +1 bonus. You can roll that. It would be 2d8 running off of your cunning modifier plus the forte there.
So it's a total of 8 with my cunning. That's another +3.
Okay.
And my forte is a +1. So we're looking at a 12 total.
Beautiful. You're going to you do find a sufficient portion of shadows with the dancing girl there and the low light in relationship to like the center of the room where the boar is spinning of the spit. You can post up in a plate, actually a somewhat small-ish circular table behind her and to the left of the spit, where it actually casts a shadow on that wall that somewhat dances. The shadow dances with her and with the flickering of the light. So you find that place there, and you kind of, so just your trained eye goes, that's my spot. And if you want to roll stealth, you may, or if you just want to walk over there, it's up to you.
I will just walk over without being stealthy, but without trying to draw attention to myself.
Okay. With actually, that was a suppress on my end. Oh my gosh, an 8 and 1. The first narrator roll of the night to suppress. God damn, you guys are gonna have a grand old time tonight. You can tell with that awareness test, no one is paying attention to you. Their eyes are glued to that smoking hot babe across the room that's kind of dancing with her shit hanging out, and their eyes are glued to this woman. So you feel pretty damn safe here. If you wish to order food, a slave girl will come over with food and libation for you. How do you wish to proceed?
I will go ahead and spurge on a couple of copper in order to get something to eat, because I can't pass this up, and I can't. I need to eat. So
Okay.
yes, I will order
This
food.
this slave girl brings you over a clay bowl with whatever meaty stew they're serving for the evening of that boar, as well as a clean cup of whatever beer that they have here. Primitive Stone Age beer. It's mostly chunky with bread in it, but hey, it's alcohol. She takes whatever money that you can give her for it, and deposits it with the proprietor of this place. Hilani, where are you in this scene?
Uh, I did a 20 or an awareness because I want to basically know if there's anyone playing a game right now.
Like a game of dice.
Game of dice or game of cards?
There's a table with some fishermen there that are playing a game of liar's dice.
Nice. I will actually make my way over there. Once again, if I notice Gree or Zarok, it's more just a courtesy double look. More just because they came in probably behind me.
A few moments behind you, yeah.
So it's more just like, all right, people walked in with me. What are they doing type of thing, but not really going to pursue anything. I will sit down with the fishermen. If they're in the middle of a round, I will wait until the round is finished, just because that's improper to try to sit down in the middle of a round of liar's dice.
Also bad luck.
Yeah, definitely bad luck. And then he will take a seat unless someone tells him otherwise. He will flag down one of the serving girls and ask for whatever's on the menu. And then to kind of give him a little bit of head start and rapport, he will actually pay for a drink for the table.
Well then. All right.
And then he will sit and he will go between playing dice and watching the girl as they probably all doing. So
half the attention at this table. Specifically, I'm only speaking about this table. Half the attention is on the game, whereas this is mostly on the dancing girl there.
Yeah.
And one of the slave girls, she looks you up and down and sees your weather beatenness as somewhat of a romantic idealization of a raider, and she brings you over a clean cup of whatever the primitive beer that they have. Actually, you know what? Here, hang on. Not the beer. She brings you over a glass of wine and
Ooh.
uh, a somewhat larger, again, bowl, a clean bowl of whatever this boar stew is there. For the rest of the individuals in this scene, you now see that there's kids. There's like a ripple that went through the rooms. I was like, oh, and if some people, and we're just gonna. What is your presence, Mike? How many grades of presence does he have?
It is technically 1 grade, but then I have the forte in it.
You have a 14 presence. Okay. Well, yeah, no, a ripple goes through this place, and then like so it's kind of divided as people looking at this individual at the table, the newcomer at the game table, and people looking at that,
And
and
looking
the
at the girl.
game and the girl. Now that's kind of
Uh,
dividing attentions here.
as the slave girl, servant girl kind of like looks at him with this, admiration, uh, he'll actually have her come down closer so they're more face to face. He'll slip her a silver piece and say, "You use this until it runs out. And if you want anything, it's going to cost you."
Oh.
And then he'll kind of wave her off.
Her heart flutters. And she runs away.
As I watch that ass as it goes away for a moment, and then I pick up my cup.
It's not something that they would serve nobles, but it's wine, and it doesn't have chunks of bread in it, nor does it have it's like barley shells. Primitive Sumerian beer had chunks of bread and some of the chaff in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably didn't get drained very well. Yeah, so it had all the sediment and stuff.
And it had a thick layer of it's like honey and fermentation at the bottom of the basin. I actually looked that up when I was world building. Ugh. Just eat that with a spoon.
That's why every time you make homebrewed beer, you don't completely empty it out because the sediment at the bottom.
So, Zarak, where are you, my friend? I hope I'm pronouncing your character's name properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. After well, I suppose do I see Gree in the corner there?
He's not Terry, you're not making yourself he's not using stealth, but he is out of the way to where if you're not paying attention, you'll miss him. But if you're actively looking or actually scanning the room, you would see him. Answer your question?
Yeah. Sitting kind of near the girl was just to my poor attempt at making it look like I was engaged in something else, but yeah, I'm just kind of side-eyeing the room. So if I see him order some food, boy do I also want food. I'll go ahead and snap my fingers twice to try and catch the serving girl's attention. I'll just kind of point at him like the bowl, and then point at my lap like I want one of those.
One of those over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. One of the other gals, she'll notice you, see, nod, and a few minutes later, she'll come back with a bowl. You don't know if it's clean or not. To be perfectly fair, Gree doesn't know if his cup of beer is clean or not either. But you're able to get in on some of this food, and all told, it's basically a bowl and a cup of beer is going to run you 3 copper. It's pretty low fare here, but
I'm going to be
hopefully
eating all night then.
yeah, I know, right?
Uh,
You will know, Helani, that your cup of wine is never empty. Bring that shit and keep that coming, honey.
And I'm sure the view never declines either.
No, it doesn't. They deal you in on the next game of dice. It just seems to be a bunch of grandpas that they're not gambling, they're just pissing away their time.
So it's not for money, it's just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's completely fine. I actually don't mind that every now and then.
They're talking about anything from good fishing spots to pretty girls in the next village to someone's neighbor who is a log cutter by profession went out into the marsh and they haven't come back yet. When this topic is brought up, it's kind of a hush. Like someone at the table kind of makes what would be like the equivalent to crossing themselves and is as a sign to ward off the evil eye or bad luck. One of the old guys gets up and drops a coin into the copper bowl of Ishtar there at one of the ends of the room and comes back. There's a lull in the music and the revelry here when the minstrel ends a set and the dancing girl has to rest for a few moments as this conversation about someone disappearing takes hold. A couple people actually get up and leave the tavern at this topic.
Helani, of course, watches this whole thing happen. Because he's about to start asking questions. But yeah, he actually kind of holds off for a second and he'll eat in between rounds, of course, because you don't want to get broth and wine sloshed in your cup and whatnot. But he'll actually let a round or two go, probably kind of an almost awkward silence, before he'll look at the one who mentioned this event and just be like, "By the way, what language are we speaking in?"
Yaith, the trade
Yaith.
language.
Okay.
These are most of the people here would be Yaithites. So they'd be speaking whatever would be the equivalent of Egyptian at this point.
Okay. Which, yeah, Halani can speak Yaith, so yeah, he'll just look at it and be like, "So how long ago was this? And is this the first time? Like, has no one gone looking for them? Because in his tribe, yes, we are a people and people get lost, but it's also the whole one of ours is missing, go find them." So
One of
he's
the grandpas there, he speaks up and he goes, "They've been gone for 3 days. We've never had issues like yes, there are bandits, but they don't. Bandits will kill a person and leave their corpse for the vultures. They won't ransom anybody. We've not had anything like that. Like maybe a lion got them. One of them. There are great cats that live in the marsh. Perhaps a crocodile got them, but we're waiting."
and this is the first time something like this has happened.
Mm.
Well, that's not very good. And where is this marsh at again?
Let's see. He just leans and points out the door. He goes, "Wherever this is, there is green."
Would on Halani's journey to said Podunk village, would he have seen this particular marsh?
Yeah, it is the lowlands of the river valley of Phi, as well as the other three rivers that kind of make this delta-like Amazonian web of rivers that goes to the coast. Half of it is marshland, half of it is uh, solid ground, but there's a lot of places where you can get lost in there. It's not quite like full-on jungle, but there are some deeper, darker places in there that if someone is not careful, they absolutely could get lost. You would have been to this area seasonally to raid certain villages, but more than likely probably haven't spent much time in the river basin. Same with Zarok.
Yeah.
This is pretty common knowledge.
There's no profit in it to go to the river basin, so
No, not during the
nice,
rainy season where the
right,
weather is unbearable.
right. Nice hide sometimes, but no profit in it. Yeah. After that, he probably just do idle chit chat. He might probe here or there about like the person who actually got lost in there, like if they were of any importance, you know, what their trade was, how long they've been doing it for. Just the idle chit chat disguised as the streetwise information gathering.
The individual that has disappeared was their local carpenter slash boat builder.
Oh, very important then.
Essentially, the boatman that does the ferrying. That's part of the industry for this village. That's a portion where the whole village's money comes from. Gree, in particular, would know that a lot of his colleagues in uh, the the healers college or the healers guild had associates, or they would pay individuals to go out into the green corridor to find herbs for various medicines and such like. I don't know if Gree is old enough or had the pleasure or privilege to go on such a field expedition himself, but his late instructor absolutely would have gone countless times. This would be an excellent opportunity to test yourself against the elements and to see what possibly you can find. Perhaps at this time, your personal journal and text might feel a bit heavier in your pack at the reference of this place. And Zarok, this there might be some opportunity to again test yourself against a threat out there. You've felt a bit sluggish with your spear. There has not been many opportunity to test yourself or wet your weapon in some time. So the calling of such a thing might pluck at your heartstrings there.
And being that the minstrel and dancing girl took a break, some of the conversation that they're having about the disappearance can be overheard.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm also not being the quietest either. Like I'm not trying to have a hushed conversation over dice. It's pretty much just, yeah.
And you're close enough to this table where all of this is, all the three of you are close enough together to where this is kind of like it's pretty easy to eavesdrop. They're not, no, it's not a hushed conversation at all. Being as it's a one-room establishment, it's kind of hard to have a private-ish conversation.
I want to kind of come up with a little plan. So what I want to do is refresh my stew, get a fresh hot bowl as much as I can,
Mm.
And while I'm doing that, I want to, while I'm waiting for that, I want to dig into my pouches and just look for some food seasonings, something that might be a little bit more exotic. Um, with some of my provisioning score. And basically, what I want to do is give this a little kick, a little spice, something to not necessarily spicy, but to ramp up the odor and make it even more delectable.
Beautiful. That's not going to require a roll. You can go ahead and describe what exactly you do there.
Okay. In as far as cooking goes, I'm looking for anything that would be a little bit more of black pepper and salt,
Probably have
any of that
sumac on you, I would imagine.
sumac, anything like that that would be a little bit on the exotic side without being expensive,
Hmm.
but that would definitely bring the level of this up. And once I'm pretty satisfied that I've got a concoction here that I've improved, I want to go over and sit with the gentlemen who are playing the dice game and start eating my soup or my stew, and just watch. I want to watch the game.
Excellent. There's enough room there. And in total, plus you, there's like 3 grandpas. This one particularly charismatic and magnetic barbarian, and now yourself. And it's kind of like the table itself is like 6, 7, 8 foot in diameter. It's a pretty sizable piece of furniture there, but it can seat quite a few people there. Maybe they're in the middle of a round of dice, and after a round or two, the one of the grandpas looks up at you, the new young buck at the table, and do you want a cup of dice? Are you in on this?
I'd like to perhaps enjoy my meal first, if you don't mind. But I'm very interested in your game. I want to make sure that I'm stirring the stew and kind of blowing the smoke out so that I
It
want to kind of
permeates the area.
exactly.
Yeah, right. I see what you're doing there.
Trying to entice the people there.
Right. Hey, Zarok, what are you up to?
Watching the movement. I do I speak anything? I suppose I don't really speak anything other than my base language, huh? Because I didn't really or would some of these languages just be kind of universal in this area? You said
You
that it's the
didn't
trade language they were speaking.
you didn't take academics.
Nope.
No,
That's what I was referring
So
to
so
earlier, Zarok. You
so I'm
didn't
a
take any
so
academics.
so I'm a dum dum. So I'm probably just like, man, what's going on?
yeah, right. So this table of grandpas and this one particular individual that you saluted earlier, they're kind of just purring at each other in a language you don't understand.
So I'll probably wait around. I see Gree walk over. I'll probably wait a round of dice, maybe 2. Um Kick on over and sit next to my Talishite brethren here and give them kind of a side look and so what's the conversation about? I don't
Mm.
I just speak the mother tongue. I'm not. There was a hush earlier. What was that? What was that all about? There was a hush and a coin.
Uh, when you so we'll go Halani here for a second. Halani was probably actually in the middle of talking to one of the grandpas, inquiring if there was a blacksmith in town or not. Because he assumes there's not enough to be a weaponsmith, but he assumes there's a blacksmith in town. Mr. Narrator.
Yeah, there's a blacksmith here. Uh he's kind of an old man. He's getting late in his years, so he doesn't really work that much anymore. As this guy is, they describe him as he's about to drop. He's been ill for some time, and may the gods keep and preserve him, but he might be dead even this night as we speak. In
No
his sleep.
one's no one's taking over for him. What are you guys gonna do?
He is the last of his line. He has outlived all of his generations, his children, his grandchildren.
No, no. I can't think of the damn word right now. No apprentice to carry on his work. No one wanted to take up the mantle.
No, his two apprentices had graduated from their tenure and have moved on to the guilds in the larger cities.
Ah. Hmm. And he's going to be mulling this over probably as Gree sits down, and Halani will give a side eye to Gree, and then Gree will talk. It's Gree, right?
Great.
Not Gris. Gree. The S is silent. Okay. Um, as Gree talks to the grandpa, he'll kind of listen in. All right, cool. The young one's going to try to learn the game. I don't have to teach him. Thank the gods. Uh, and he'll let Gree do what he wants to do. It's fine. It's whatever. And then Zarak will come over, and Zarak will he'll Halani will like. I'm sure he's taking up more of the table than most people would because of how big he is. So he'll kind of like just give like Zarak enough of that room to like squeeze in like around where his stuff is. And when Zarak like gives him the look and starts talking to him, and Halani will realize, all right, this guy doesn't speak Yace. Why the hell aren't you learned? Because once again, in his tribe,
My
a lot
people were learned. They knew how to read, and they
they
knew the language of the enemy. Must
well,
I do everything
yeah,
myself?
God, he was a barbarian, but he was, trying to be a learned barbarian. Um, so like, yeah, like he, for like the briefest of moments, the Rock would just got a look of like, why are you so uncivilized? And then Halani would kind of like gather himself back in and be like, all right, not everyone was like our tribe. It's fine. It's fine. We can build you up. It's fine. Um, and this whole time, Halani has like that smirk of like the guy who pokes the bear but knows he can take care of the bear at the same time. Um, Also, he has no fear at the moment. He knows he could probably roughshod most of this village on his own. So he's not worried like at all.
Make me
Like
a conditioning save now, too. Because you've been drinking most of the night.
I have been.
Uh, I, for the sake of time period, the whole scene, maybe like an hour and a half. You guys have been inside for about an hour and a half. And it's been raining cats and fucking dogs for the past 40 minutes.
22.
22? Yeah, I'd say you got a nice buzz going on. You could drink
Right.
for a few more hours and then get into a fight with somebody. And you're pretty confident you could still rock this person.
Piss pound everyone in sight. Yeah. Um, it's also Halani has been blackout drunk a few times in his lifetime already. Usually during and after fights. So he has learned to at least have something in his stomach the whole time. You don't drink on an empty stomach. That's bad. That's bad luck and bad juju. Anyway, he'll look at Zarok, and Zarok talks to him, asks him everything. He'll look at him, and in Talishite, he'll talk about the man who got lost down by the river basin in the woods. Um, just that he is an important member of the village, as small as this village is. As he said that, he kind of looks around with that, like, oh, why does it gotta be so podunk? Like, it's not quite condescending, but if you don't know he's like joking about it, you would think he's just being an asshole about everything. It's just one of those like, I can fix this, but why do I have to fix this? This isn't my job anymore. But why?
I'll see
Sorry, go
that
ahead.
look on your face. I'll see that look on your face, and I'll kind of mirror that look around. But I do kind of have a bit of a stank look on my face. Like, yeah, that's a pretty shithole. Like, ugh,
It is painfully
fuck.
obvious to you two raiders that with like 2 or 3 more bully boys, you could kill everyone in this village and take the place.
My face resonates. The look of fucking Hicks.
Nice, nice.
But he'll
Nice.
Zorak will see that smirk before that look around, and he'll be like, "Look, I'm trying. I've almost picked it up. I'm not quite there." Ugh. When they're usually screaming, you don't need to learn language for ah.
How old is Zarog, or how old does he look?
Uh, he's like a solid 30. He's not a young man, but he's not too long in the tooth, as they say.
You're actually older
Experienced.
than you're actually older than Halani is. Uh, Still, when you said it, you almost have it down. Halani look, you'd be like, "You're young, you'll get it. Don't worry." And then he'll look at you and he'll look at the cup. But you gonna pick up one?
Uh, sure could.
One of the grandpas across the table says 5 4s, and a couple of the other guys shake their cups. They smack the cups down, and they reveal their dice. Son of a bitch! And someone throws some dice into the center of the table and just grumbles and bitches because he's losing terribly.
Yeah,
As this conversation is
right.
going.
And like in their sparse between that, Halani of course would be yelling out dice combos here because he's multitasking while we're doing this. Um, I assume, especially with him getting buzz, he's probably lost a die or two himself. He's not winning every round, but neither is he losing all the time. So, if Zarak doesn't have any other questions, Halani will look at the grandpa from earlier and be like, how badly do you guys want this carpenter back?
Well, he's the only one that we have, and we cannot spare anyone else. The superstition of the place. Our priest was also laid low by a strange sickness a few chains ago, so there's some apprehension to leaving the village at this time. If you wanted to take yourself out there to find them and perhaps a few fellows, then well, you'd have the gratitude of the village, but I don't know if there's much in the way of pay. He kind of eyes Gree and Zorak with that last comment about monies being changing hands, but he doesn't say anything.
Favors are worth more than money at times.
Mm. Mm.
Money I can find. Favors owed and favors given can still be used long after the money runs dry.
Favors would indeed be could be given, depending on, well, this is dependent how long you wish to stay in this area. He makes a not necessarily a snide comment about your people and your heritage moving seasonally, but it would be nice if a certain village could be overlooked when the season changes again, which kind of like comes across a little more stern than than he probably intended it to look.
Let me see if I can find him tomorrow, and then we can discuss arrangements.
Hmm.
I don't speak for all of us, but hopefully I can avert some.
I also have an interest. If you don't mind my interruption, I
Oh,
may
by all
not look
means.
like much, but I've got a vested interest in seeing the marsh, and I can provide my skills as well.
When you mention not looking like much, Halani will actually chuckle out loud. Because the man knows he could probably snap you quite literally like a twig without even thinking about it. But when you
However,
mentioned being helpful, Halani will just nod at you.
I do have my set of skills that might not be as physical as yours, but perhaps could be useful, especially if one were to get wounded or come across some type of dire infection in the marsh.
When you mention infection, Halani will actually look back at the grandpa. Didn't you mention something about the priest being laid low?
Yes,
How long ago was that?
a few chains, 3 or 4.
I'm
Is
assuming
he
he has
still alive?
passed.
No, he has been laid to rest with the rest of his ancestors. This village is without a carpenter, it was without a priest. Things are not good here.
Have you sent word to one of the bigger cities?
Not yet.
Well, we will see if we can ease the apprehension, and then I suggest you do so post haste. And Halani will get that like look at his face of like the chieftain of
As
that's
in a
almost
man of
a command.
authority. Yeah, right. Post haste.
You're not my people, but by God, you better do what I say.
Mm. So, if there's anyone else that wants to explore the scene, by all means, you may do so.
Halani is going to play dice and have his food and drink. So he is otherwise incapacitated for the scene.
All right.
If no
So-
translation is forthcoming, kind of like at the end of the night, Zorak will tap Hilani's shoulder and be like, "Okay, what's the plan? You got what? What are you
Okay.
doing here?
Okay.
Like,
I
Okay.
have been voluntold.
Okay,
without
to-
needing like a full huge explanation, he'll just kind of be like, "What was the gist?"
Zorak,
Because
to backtrack for a second. As soon as me and you talked at the table, if you give me that look like what the hell is going on, in between rounds and in between me eating, I will give you the cliff notes.
yeah, okay, good.
So
All right.
he'll translate. There you go. Now what was that, Terry? Sorry.
No, I was just also curious too if if the village has been without a healer for a while or a priest. Was there a place that they lived or someone that they reported to?
No, they lived in a shack, like a village shanty. Just one of the guys describes his little hovel just down the road from here, maybe a few buildings down, and he died in his sleep. Praise all the gods, he is without pain at this point, and buried with his generations. But no, they're without a spiritual leader as well as a healer in this place. It is when this conversation over the past couple hours has kind of illustrated to you that this place is kind of in a very bad spirits type of state. One of their people got kidnapped or disappeared. Their spiritual leader is gone. They have not either been able to go rescue somebody or go search for anybody, and now they're without uh, a healer of some kind, spiritually or figure or physically. This place is in a very bad place, very bad, very bad way.
Sirach will
Alright.
make the comment that just in between translations, like it seems like by the end of the cycle, they're not this place isn't gonna be here the way they're going.
More than likely. What was that, Terry? Sorry.
I have academics, so I've been understanding what these guys have been saying the whole time, just not
Right.
really
Of course.
leading on to it. I'm gonna lean over to the two warriors and speak in their language and say, we I see an opportunity for us to establish ourselves with my brain and your brawn, and the fact that they seem to be lacking in some basic needs. I'd be willing to go out into the marsh with you, and if this is something that can turn profitable, starting with an empty shack and a need to fill this village, my pockets are empty, and that board tasted pretty damn good. I could stand for a few hot meals, but I'm gonna need to resupply.
As soon as you start talking and like when me and Zarok were talking, the second I see you kind of perk up at us talking, is like, all right, this guy knows what the hell we're talking about. As soon as you actually lean over and start talking to me in it, Halani will just give you a grin that is exciting and at the same time terrifying to see. As you mentioned, profit and building something. Halani, he'll actually look out. He'll look at the grandpas and actually look at the tavern itself. Profit will be very good indeed, as is rebuilding. And he leaves the rebuilding on like that tone of both material and immaterial. He just leaves it hang.
What say you? And I turned to Zark.
I feel like the profit here is what, maybe a silver. The rebuilding, what, you gotta rebuild them an outhouse? I mean, fine. Let's do a shall we form a merry band and do a good deed? It was like a scoff at the end of that, like
But
I suppose I have been bored.
just remember, everything came from nothing. This too might grow into something prosperous.
And not all profit necessarily has to do with coin. If this happens to put us up in a place that provides us safety and a place to lay our heads, where the denizens are going to be obliged to us and not necessarily wanting to cut our throat in our sleep, doesn't mean we have to set down roots here, but having a safe place to lay our heads and some hot meals on the house might be a good way to go for a few nights.
That actually makes sense. What are you over here? What are you a philosopher over here? This big guy philosopher. Jeepers.
I can be a man of many talents.
Oh no, I mean what the big guy said about whatever the holy shit he was talking about. You made sense, little man. Meal and roots, that made sense. This guy is on his high horse about something else. Or his high lizard. That's a pretty spectacular beast, by the way, that you have out there.
Thank you.
Looking in the market myself for a new beast. I don't think I'm going to find anything that good around here, but
That's fascinating because I'm in the market looking for a new guard.
could be an arrangement.
I could. And referring to the fact that we could rebuild, like I said, this place could be made prosperous. Its people could be made better. And my people could grow once more. Because just like you, I'm only one right now. Unless you have a group of yours hiding somewhere in the woods.
No, not so much.
And besides, I learned from my father that there's many facets to being a leader. Some physical and some not so much. May the gods keep and preserve him.
I don't know anything about that, but I wouldn't mind physically leading that dancing girl somewhere.
However, but if it's a leader you're interested in, this village could be the first step in accumulating what you desire without having to spill blood and building up a very loyal base. You get more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Why would you waste honey on flies?
Well, if you have enough flies, you can take down a steer.
I literally don't want flies in my face. I don't.
Alex, I like this character.
I'm getting serious Drax vibes right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I just realized I was kind of Draxing it, but yeah.
Whatever your
Right
head
before
did
you
is
said that,
nothing
I
goes
was
over
like,
my head.
oh.
Oh shit.
With that, I think the scene will fade to black with the conversation going late into the evening. But there's dice, there's food, there's drinking.
Ladies on the lap.
Right? Eventually, there will be a woman on somebody's lap, and you will
Mine.
right. You'll put your characters to bed and wake up the next day. Perhaps you investigate the late priest and or healer's shanty. The village elder comes to you three, as it has been he has been informed that you three may or may not be volunteering yourselves to go seek out their missing carpenter. And because the healer's dead and they currently have an uninhabited home, you guys are given a shack and the rest of the earthly possessions of this priest of Ishtar, as well as this medicine man. So Gree, you're a kid in a candy store here. He's not as educated as you are, and perhaps his materials are more based in the occult as opposed to yours that are based in what would technically be primitive science in this situation. And there are quite a few places where they overlap a lot. And he has materials for potions, ointments, unguents, and things to stave off illnesses, to stop bleeding and such like. Most of his materials, however, would be on clay tablets, obviously written in Yath hieroglyphics, which you obviously read. And with those materials in tow, you can't take the whole house with you, but you take what you can with you. And your troop sets out into the Green Corridor. Now, does Halani actually take his mount out into the marsh? No one else actually has a mount. You're pretty confident that she would be safe here, and she does not accost anyone else. And as a reptilian, she just sunbathes all day.
No, I probably would have tried taking her into woods and basins before and know that this one probably wouldn't be a good fit for her. Nor am I in a party of cavalry or riders, so it's not efficient really to do.
Okay.
So no, I would have left her in town. However, the servant girl that I dealt with last night, I would have basically told her, keep an eye on her.
Okay. Okay.
Gives her a little sense of importance in a podunk town, probably.
Perhaps. And wait, so that possibly that next morning, the next afternoon, you guys set out into the marsh.
Before we go, I would. How far away is the marsh? 'Cause you said the guide's been gone for 3 days, but how far is the marsh travel wise?
It's just beyond the village. It's on the edge of the green, essentially, where the green meets the dunes.
Okay. I will go into the tavern again and procure a day or two worth of provisions.
Okay.
Just in case something goes awry.
Okay. They're not going to demand payment for such a thing, so that should be fine. Are there any last minute preparations before we see our characters out to the road?
No, I'm just gonna be in the morning spent inventorying if there's anything that I could find that would be instantly needed or more immediately needed, like bandages, that sort of thing. I'm not trying to do a full inventory. I'm like looking at specimens like, ooh, I can use that, let's take that with. And this one, oh nope, that one's bad. Let's put that one back.
Okay.
So I just want to restock for what I think possibly would need for marsh travel.
He does have sealed away in what looks to be like small canopic jars, so to speak. Seems to be labeled as antitoxins for venomous reptiles, as well as spiders and scorpions, which might shoot the question into your mind: how often do these people get bit or stung by shit? This is terrible news. I don't want to come out there. Fuck. There's a few of those. I'll say about 3, one of each. He has sterilized best you can bandages and such, a lot of herb treated yeah, that sort of thing. He has quite a few like aloe type plants that are either being dried and or processed, like halfway. Like he probably died halfway through quite a bit of his processing, so everything is either in the middle of going bad, like, oh shit, I gotta use this now, or whatever. And keep in mind how ancient medicine would work is things don't keep on a shelf life for very long. So more than likely a medicine has to be prepared before it's administered to somebody, and it has to be prepared properly. Otherwise, again, you could accidentally poison someone and make the situation a hell of a lot worse. So he's got a lot of things that are like half processed or drying. Hanging herbs and such like. You could probably bring at least some of that with you to give you kind of like a kind of an umbrella type preparation against possibly the worst there. I'm gonna have to get you at a later date a full inventory of his shit, because there's gonna be quite a bit there. The old guy knew his stuff, but he's old and probably doesn't know how to do quite as much as you do, because he's not associated with a guild or anything. But he's not without skill. Zorak, do you need to do anything before these characters leave civilization?
Probably also just some rations.
Okay. Okay.
When I hear them talking about the rations, I'm like, yeah, that's not actually a bad idea. I'll see if I can get some of the boar, whatever's down to the gristle, and maybe some fresh water to take with. What I do want to explain to whomever follows me around or happens to be in the hovel at the same time, is to say, yeah, this is against spider bites. This is against snake bites. So this guy was preparing for what we might see in the environment. So just to throw that out there, no matter how big and strong you are, this might be the stuff that keeps us alive.
Okay. I would say between the three of you, you could possibly carry about 2 chains. A chain is 10 days worth of provisions. And that would probably be a mix of probably fruit, grains, and proteins, which I would give you guys a +2 morale bonus for that. That being said, when that'll come up, it'll come up when it comes up. But who is going to be carrying the most of it? Our party quartermaster, so to speak.
Who wants to write everything down?
I mean, we have a couple backpacks, right?
Yep.
I have a couple satchels. As well as if they gave us a whole bunch, I probably would have asked. Well, actually, no. When we actually get everything amassed, I will go back and ask the tavern keep if they have any spare bags for me to carry it in.
Yeah, they'd give you that. They'd give
Okay.
you at least one backpack again.
I will carry at least one, just because I'm a leader, not a boss, so I always pull my share. But who actually wants to write everything down? If no one else wants to, I can.
Oh, I am not great at that stuff, so
Okay.
Gary, you want to
prefer
write stuff
not
down, or
to.
you want me to do it?
We'll gloss over that. I don't have a party inventory for you guys just yet, but
Okay.
so I'll get that to you at a later date. We'll just go. We'll continue. So you guys leave the village, and possibly 2 days into your trek, you've left sight of this village at this point. You've camped out twice, a relatively quiet trek. Those of you who are not familiar with camping in a forest or near a wetland, the sounds of the night are deafening. the frogs and everything has to sing when the sun goes down. And possibly a snake slithers over you in the middle of the night, which is possibly terrifying in the first time it happens. But on the morning of the third day, when the first blush of dawn begins to peek over the horizon here, you are attacked by bandits. These guys have no respect for breakfast or sleep. What I'm going to need from you guys, I'm going to say they did not catch you unawares because one of you was on watch and one of them is a clumsy son of a bitch. So what we're going to do is I need everyone to roll a single 8-sided die and let me know what you guys get. What did Gree roll? You were muted.
I got an 8.
Fantastic. Okay.
6.
Is Eric?
Solid 3.
A fat solid 3. Fantastic. Okay. So they did not catch you unaware. So simultaneously, quite literally simultaneously with Gree, there's one bandit who enters the scene. There's actually 5 of them and 3 of you. Gree, how does he operate when the chips are down? How does he take combat or take to battle?
He tries not to if he can help it.
Right.
So I don't
Good
want to be
luck.
completely unaware. So I will draw a saber, but I will look to see where my companions are and fall back to them.
Okay. All right. This individual is armed with a bow, and he's actually going to attempt to shoot an arrow at Gree. And he makes an attack roll of 15. Go ahead and roll me a defense test, quick like.
Okay, so that would be evasion.
2d8
And
cunning evasion.
2d8 with reflex, correct?
Defense is cunning based.
Cunning. Sorry. That's a +3.
Fantastic.
Lucky day.
You got a 15 coming in. I
and
don't want to kill anybody.
I rolled a 5 and an 8. So does the 8 explode on this?
Yes, the 8
does
explodes.
explode.
So re-roll the
Right.
8.
5, 8, and a 6, which gives me 19.
Fantastic.
22.
+3. And plus my evasion score gives me another +1.
Fantastic. What is that total? Like 23, 24?
23. 23.
23.
Okay. So he got a 14 there. Excuse me, a 14. He got a 15. You blow his attack way out of the fucking water. And you can describe for us how you evade that attack. I try and keep combat as narrative based as possible when an attack is made upon you guys, or if you make an attack on somebody else, I try and have the players describe their action best they can so they can keep the scene as thematic and dynamic as possible. So you can describe that action however you wish.
So as I see the bandit draw the arrow back and I'm looking directly at the arrowhead, I see him hesitate for a second, and that allows me to dodge off to the side as he lets loose. So it's not a completely thematic dodge, but at the same time, it's very, very effective and misses me by a country mile.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, then we are gonna go to one of the second bandits. Oh shit. Hey Zarek, make me a defense test.
All right. Throw some dice.
Roll it.
Throwing dice and killing people.
Right?
Defense. Let me use my trace. I don't clatter around.
Well, gosh dang, man. What the heck? Get with the program walk.
Oh goodness, thank you. I thought that was a 1. That's not. me do
Don't
some
roll a
adding.
crit fail, please.
Let me do some adding here. Defense.
I just made you my guard. Don't be letting me down already.
You're right.
Okay, defense 12.
Defense of 12. Gosh dang it. Oh my gosh. All right. He is attacking you with a saber of his own. And he's going to attempt to, oh shit, that is 14 damage coming in. Make me an armor test, please.
14 damage. Jesus
14
Christ.
damage coming in. Yeah, dude.
All right, well, it was
8s
fun.
explode on damage, so
Yeah, it does.
Oh boy. That's pretty dog shit. That's 4.
God damn it, man.
2 plus the Halberg, so yeah, 4.
Uh
Yikes.
two
All
plus
right.
the oh shit. All right, all right. Okay. So that's shit, that's 10 damage coming in.
Sucking down a 10.
Ah.
What's your vitality?
17.
Ow.
So,
Okay, damn.
so, I mean, this is already a pretty bad wound.
You're oh my god. Okay. You are at grievously injured. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey Gree. Help. Damn. So Halani is next. Fucking save us.
right.
Quick question, Ref. How many are there?
There's 5 bandits and 3 of us.
Yes.
Well, 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't shut up, Alex.
Just about.
You're not at your base vitality yet. You are not taking penalties to anything. You're not quite in the quick yet, but you're kind of close.
Okay.
It's just a flesh wound.
Narrator.
You can describe what's that? What?
Oh no, do the thing with Alex real quick.
You can describe how that bandit fucking slices you open. You can describe that for us.
Oh, flourishing the shield. I was real confident. And goddamn if I didn't have breakfast yet.
No respect for breakfast.
That's what we'll blame on. He didn't have breakfast yet. He's not in it yet.
I'm a man who respects breakfast, okay? So I'm not quite chipper yet. I'm a little slow in the morning, apparently. And it's costly.
All right. Where does that blow land? It
Oh,
might
boy.
actually be for Gree's benefit to know where the gun is.
A grievous. Well, it probably is it's probably a nice slash, a nice deep slash across the side, probably.
Okay. All right then. We'll say you're in the middle of raising your shield, and he saw that shield come up, and he went underneath it and got you on the side, and sliced you well open. Helani, we'll go to Helani here.
All right. Question real quick. Throwing a hand axe, is that still underneath axes, or is that turned to the projectile skill?
That's projectiles.
Okay.
If it leaves you, it's a projectile.
It's projectile. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. So, well, shit. Yeah, we're. I'm assuming I see Well, we're gonna say I
You
see
see
the
Zarek
arrow.
take a pretty bad hit.
Yep, I see the arrow go flying, and I'm starting to rouse at this. I see Zarek take a fucking hit that would down a moderate warrior anyway. So part of me is like, huh, he's actually pretty strong. Good. He better fucking survive. Doing this, Halani is going to stand up, and he's grabbing his long axe and his hand axe as he's getting up because they were like next to him in bed.
Right.
And he will give out a thunderous roar.
Nice.
And he will actually trigger red mist.
Okay.
And he will go after the one that took down Zarok.
All right. Make an attack roll. Don't forget the bonuses for red mist.
Yep. What is the bonus for 14 physique? Is that a +5?
Yes. 12
Okay.
and 13 is +4. 15, 16 is +5.
Okay. $15, $17. So that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Okay. He got a fat 6.
Ooh, all that lovely dispatch right there.
These guys aren't wearing armor, so they are not entitled to an armor test.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Goody.
You're not fighting Arborians either, so they don't have a natural armor test. So
Uh-huh.
they can just get the fuck away from it.
You
That is
fucking-
one of the standard races, the Dryad tree people. They just get armor because they exist.
Yeah, I would have taken full dispatch on that because that was 15 points of difference.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking 15 points of damage.
Yeah. That is twice his vitality. He is dead, and possibly the guy behind him is also dead.
Oh, good. Yeah, actually, if there
Yeah,
was a guy behind,
I'll say the guy behind him is also dead.
actually, since I can actually do this narratively because I would have had long axe in one hand, hand axe in the other.
Okay.
Essentially, what would have happened with this is I would have roared, ran up next to where Zarok went down. Is Zarok still standing, or did he actually go down?
Alex.
Down to a knee.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
so I
it's
would
time to
basically have ran
recoup
up
from this pretty bad wound.
to where he went down. The long axe would have been in left hand, and this would have been coming up as I ran. Would have swiped down, took the guy in the neck and shoulder, probably cleaved pretty fucking well into it. And as I did this, I would have used that, saw the guy behind him, step forward from the momentum, and put the fucking hand axe right in that guy's fucking forehead.
Attaboy.
And then just for sheer badassery, I would kick the guy off my hand axe while I rip the long axe out of the guy's fucking throat. And I will look at the other three and fucking just look at him like, fucking bring it.
The last fucking bandit is gonna have a go at Gree.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, stop exploding! God damn you. That is a that is a 19 attack coming in, Terry.
ooh. All right. All
Get
right.
out of the way. Avoid that, please.
We are avoiding that. I got another 8. Okay, I got an 8 and a 3, so that's
Yes.
11. Rerolling the
Explode that 8.
and 2 more, so 13 plus 3 for
16.
cunning, plus 1 for my skill.
So
I didn't quite
17.
do it. 17 versus a 19.
But no dispatch. It's just be nothing extra on top.
That's gonna be straight damage. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Question for the scene. Is this early enough in the morning where Gree had put on his armor yet? I should have asked this before I kind of took the shit out of Alex, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he's wearing his armor. So
We'll say
it's
he
up
was
to
the last
Gree.
one on watch. He was the last. Zarak was the last one on watch. That's why he's wearing his.
Oh, okay, all right. So is Gree wearing his armor? Yes or no? Would he have put his leather armor on before he began to cook breakfast? That's the
Probably
real
not.
question.
Thematically, I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay, all right. That is 4 damage coming in. No armor test. Where did it hit you? And you can describe that for us.
So my head thought was that I was going to be headed towards Zarek, and that was my single purpose. So and it was a sword swipe, right?
Yep.
I'm still new to the whole combat thing, so once I had my mind on something, then that's where I was going to. And he came in from the right side and clipped me in the shoulder. Luckily, I was able to roll enough with the blow that it wasn't taking my head off.
Right. Oh, okay.
Deep cut on my shoulder.
Okay. Like the meat of the shoulder, just deep enough for it to go shit, but not to make the arm useless.
Right.
Oh hell. Hey Zarek, do you wanna help, please?
Do I want to help?
Yeah, do you
Oh
save
man,
us? Save us.
would I like to try? Well, I probably don't have the strength to hold a shield and a spear.
Actually, you're not taking any penalties on anything yet.
No, you're not taking any penalties yet. It's 6 vitality and below. Your base vitality is when you start to take penalties. So you got 7 currently. You're good for now.
Okay, in that case, I will soldier up. I'll lean on my spear for a second, push myself up off the ground, and how many guys we got left?
There are 3 left. There are at least 2 in reach of your spear at this point.
All right. Yeah, kind of making sure I hold my shield up to really cover my wound that I did not defend well enough against before. That first hit.
For a mechanical advantage here for you, you can take a defensive stance and give yourself a +2 to your defense in lieu of a -2 to your attacks, as long as you're in a defensive stance.
As an aside here, well, actually not as an aside, when Halani sees you stand and he sees Greed take a hit, he won't say anything out loud because he's fucking raging right now. He can't really speak anyway, but he will look at you and he will stare at Gree and he will look behind him.
There isn't anybody back there that you can see.
Yeah, I'll just like I said, I'll push myself up off the ground, set my stance, soldier up, hold my shield up. I'm not gonna take a defensive stance.
Okay.
But I am just gonna like readjust my arm, get that shield ready to hopefully not get walloped on next time. And square up with my spear and do a hearty thrust at the closest guy.
Make an attack roll, man. Good luck. Oh, yes. Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
Get that dispatch. Come on.
Well, get
in the jugular.
14. Yeah, 14 to hit.
Okay. +1 dispatch.
There you go.
Nice.
Roll damage, my man. Roll damage. And again, they're not wearing armor, so they thought they were just gonna rock up on you guys, take you out real quick, and possibly have some gear. They are sorely mistaken. I can't actually. I'm gonna shut up because we don't know how
Okay.
this is gonna go.
Okay, so if there's a dispatch, it's a total of 8 damage.
So
Oh,
it's D8 plus your physique plus the +1 from dispatch.
Yep.
Okay.
your
Yeah, I
damage
only rolled
die
a
didn't
4.
explode. So okay.
I only rolled a 4. The total was 8.
Okay. He just barely take him out completely. They have 7 vitality each. So you can describe for us how you skewer him with your spear.
Yeah, it's gonna be there's no fanciness here because I'm just in a real tunnel vision mode. So it's a straight gut stab. It's just straight through the middle.
Yeah.
Quick and thorough pierce. Pull it out. Let him bleed.
Yeah. Oh, he'll die instantly, or within seconds after falling there in the mud, which we'll go back to Gree at this point.
All right. I'm hit. Is there any immediate threats to us right now?
There is one gentleman that is getting ready to throw a copper axe into Zarek's face.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
All right. I'll do what I can to get to Zarek and pull him back because I believe that's what Ilani was trying to tell us.
Okay.
So grab it back.
Okay. Is that your full turn? You're probably gonna try and get Zarek into some kind of cover.
Just get him away from the action and get him down to some cover. Yeah.
So, just for the sake of the thing, hey Zarek, are you going to allow him to lead you to some other place away from the combat, preferably?
Yeah, if it feels like a friendly hand tugging, I'm going to do a shield forward retreat.
Okay. You advance back the other way. There's no retreating. Come on now.
I advance backward.
There you go. Helani, help. Help.
So we have 2 guys left. We have the axe thrower, and I'm assuming the bowman is the other one left, or is the bowman come forward?
No, the bowman is relocating, and he's going to make a stealth roll and make me an awareness test here.
$16.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You don't know where he's at, but he is not within sight anymore.
All right, that's fine. I'll just advance on the axeman then, and
Hit him.
I will swing in with the long axe again.
All right. Oh my God! Come on, that is a pathetic defense. Oh shit.
23.
Oh my God.
I love having maxed out physique. It's great. What did he get this time?
It's a fat 7. It is a substantial 7, though.
So full dispatch. I actually kill him just off of my base damage. I don't even have to roll a die because it's 5, and then my physique score puts me at like 9. So yeah.
Minimum damage.
Yeah, minimum damage takes him out.
To not kill this guy, you have to crit fail.
Yeah, right.
So no,
yeah.
you can describe how you absolutely fucking murder this guy.
Yeah. This one, so like he's probably like in the midst of like raising the axe, getting ready to throw it, right?
Oh yeah, he's hauling back.
Right. So what will happen? I'm actually going to run up. The long axe is going to be crossed under, and I'm actually going to take him out right underneath the rib cage. Memento will probably throw his ass into a tree.
You'll at least lift him up off the ground, but I don't think you're gonna throw him.
Well, I don't know how close the trees are either. So, but either way, yeah. I will take him in the side, and he will have that axe head lodged in his, in the side of him.
Yeah, that it'll be deep enough to sever his spinal column. So no, he'll die instantly. But
and then I will actually leave the long axe in him. And I'll actually pick up the copper axe he had, so I have 2 hand axes.
That looks like bad news for me.
Right?
Gree, would you make me a defense test, please?
Oh, not me. Oh boy.
That's bad.
That is a 23 coming in.
Jesus.
That's 2 1s.
Oh no! Don't
Oh,
fucking say that. Did
Yeah.
did the skull tower just do you dirty?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
God damn it.
Put that thing in dice jail.
Oh yeah. Put the whole fucking tower in dice. All right.
It done skull fucked him.
Oh my god, where's the fucking crit table chart? God damn it.
Busting this bitch out already.
God
Right?
damn it. All right, fine.
Not what we wanted to deal with.
All
I'm
right.
going to use suppressed again.
Wait, why does it say God's help you? What the fuck is this?
What?
It's a critical failure. God's help you.
Oh yeah.
May the gods help you. All right.
Son of a bitch, this is gonna be bad.
Yes, it is.
I guess I'm not the only one that's fucked up.
Hey Terry, do you want me to roll it or do you want to roll your crit fail?
I'm gonna have you do it.
You have me do it? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Are you?
What did you get? What did you get?
How much effort did you put into this backstory? That's what he wants to know. That's what he wants to know because does
Chris
Gree have a
Jr. Now.
Does Gree have a brother or something? Does he have a brother named Gristle?
No. Oh my god. You have a permanent disfiguring injury.
You rolled a 1.
It's not a 1. A 1 is an instant kill. No.
I was gonna say that's an instant death.
No, 1's just a permanent injury.
A horribly disfigured is 3 there.
You rolled on critical hit, not critical fail.
Oh well, okay.
Oh, true.
That's for the opponent. All right, fair enough. So we're gonna say, well, that's actually rather nice. You only take 2 points of vitality.
Okay.
Roll me a D8 quick.
That's why I was confused by the horribly disfigured.
4.
4? Okay. So that arrow lands in your chest. And what about this injury? It's going to linger on you on grief for the rest of his life. There is a disfiguring injury there. What is the nature of this injury?
Boy, from an arrow?
Mm-hmm.
Help me out here, guys.
It's not enough to
disfiguring.
like kill him. It's not a sucking chest wound.
No, but it's gotta be like some type of solid enough wound that just puts a heinous scar, like maybe
Maybe he has his barbed in a certain way. Maybe it's shattered in a certain. Maybe you have pieces of it stuck in your chest.
yeah. I'm thinking that the scar turns out to be maybe it resembles a character of a hieroglyphic or something that would be some like really bad mojo. Like, why would you ever carve that onto your chest, sort of thing? So if anyone saw it, that they would
Like
recognize it as a character of
like if he takes his shirt off, it'll heal in a way to where it looks like a character that, oh, maybe it's actually a like you said, maybe it's like a bad omen or a character that represents something negative or bad luck. I like that. That's actually really good.
yeah. It'd be like the equivalent of a modern day scenario where for some reason you got like a upside down pentagram scar. You know,
All right.
Yeah, like a brand or something.
Yeah, but
it's a scar.
It just happened to be how he got wounded. That
You can describe for us how that arrow lands, where it is on your chest. How you describe? We're gonna sit here and let you have a soliloquy briefly with that. Go for it, man.
okay. So it is unfortunately a solid hit, and that arrow sticks completely in his chest. And as it turns out, it doesn't hit anything too vital, but yet it would be like a pronounced area on his chest that yeah, it just rips the hell out of the skin. And
Okay.
that's
That piece, I really like that. That actually adds a lot of character for this for the character, quite literally. So everyone make an awareness test. Quick like. Let's see where the sniper is so we can hopefully end combat in a safe fashion.
Ray, if you want to come verify this, I just got double eights.
Oh, I had to come out to the living room. Hang on.
Remy, check the die. Do it.
Nice. All right.
Okay, this is cunning.
your double eights to counteract my double ones.
I swear to God, if I lose the two newest people in my tribe already, I'm going to be kind of pissed off.
Well, that's pretty fucking brilliant. So Helani knows exactly where this guy is. He poked his head out from behind a fucking tree, let fly, and he got Gree something fierce. And is it within the realm of possibility or realistic that this wound is gonna make him scream bloody murder?
Oh yeah, yeah, and
So-
probably knock him off his feet.
Okay. So to go back into like the 40 seconds where the combat, some bandit comes in, cuts Zarek real damn deep, and he gets his shit sorted out within seconds after that. One of the archers, the archer dips out. Two of the companions die. Another one gets his spinal column severed with an axe, and then the archer relocates, shoots, scars Gree for the rest of his life, and you now see Halani with fucking tunnel vision about to get this guy's goose and then some.
I'm reminded of the scene from Tombstone.
Yeah, right.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. You hear?
Wyatt motherfucking Earp. Get him. All right. Halani spotted him, so well, technically, he crit. He's first to act here, so go for it.
All right. Yeah, Halani's basically just going to go bum rush this guy, but it's going to be in this weird, like, if you were something else looking in on this, it would look really weird because Halani's going to like take out this one guy, leave his long axe, pick up the copper axe this guy had. He's going to hear Gree scream. Going to look around. He's going to pinpoint this archer, and he's going to do almost like the walk that turns into the run. Like that really shouldn't work, but it does. Is this guy up in the tree or is he just hiding behind it?
He's poked out from behind it.
Okay, but he's still on ground level.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna see Halani come in, and hopefully, if this works out correctly, Halani is essentially going to jump and try to bury both axes into this guy's head and skull.
God. All right.
So that'll be 22.
He got an 18 on his defense. He made a solid effort to try and get the fuck out of the way. But you are just fast enough.
So that's 10 points of damage.
All right. He goes down in a pool of his own blood. You can describe that for us.
Yeah. So like I said, Halani kind of does this walk into a run into a just enough of a hop to basically come bear down on this coward of a man. And he will quite literally bury one hand axe right here because that seems to be a favorite spot of his today. And the other one will actually lodge right into the temple.
Nice. Okay. And with that, combat ends, and the spore of the churned up marsh there settles. And Gree, you are free and safe as well. We hope that you can tend to the wounded.
Yes. So I will deal with the the arrow and the slashes from my and Zarek's wounds. How do you go about with the apothecary rolls?
All right, that would be a skill test. That'd be 2d8 plus your spirit modifier, plus whatever your skill bonus is in apothecary. And because at this point you are pretty well stocked in the medicine department, I'll give you a +2 bonus with all of the implements that you've captured to deal with the grievous wounds there. If
Okay.
we're treating Zarek first, that is a 20, essentially to stop his bleeding and get him on the mend.
Okay. So I will start with him.
Okay. How you doing over there, Alex? So strong. He is never better.
You know, it's another day, right? It's just another day. I haven't had breakfast yet. Son of a bitch.
Now, out of curiosity, has Zarok ever seen a barbarian go into red mist before?
Oh, he is a member of a barbarian culture.
Yeah.
That's obvious. Yeah.
I guess the question is, has Gree ever seen someone go into red mist before?
Probably heard of it, but never experienced it himself, perhaps.
Yeah, I've got lots of questions about that. I rolled a 15.
Oh, okay. That
That's
is your
after
first,
everything.
right?
That's after everything. Yeah.
With that, that is your first attempt. You can do it again. With a +2 bonus there. Hopefully that'll help. Does Halani have apothecary at all, or did he not?
He does not, because he relied on his shaman and his medicine man for that.
Okay.
What's anything going on with me while this is happening?
You're
What
bleeding
is
out.
going on with you, Zarek?
I mean, I'd be bleeding.
So on the second roll, I got a total of 21. I got an
Okay.
8 that exploded to a 1. So that 1 isn't a penalty, right? Because it was a explode.
Technically not in that case.
Okay.
I
Normally
think that just adds the normal 1, right? Because
that doesn't count as a suppress. No. So
Okay.
yeah, you
So
can explode
21
into a
total.
1, but if it comes up 8 and a 1 on the first die roll,
No.
yeah.
right.
Okay. Nope. The first die roll was an 8 and a 6.
Okay.
And then I re-rolled the 8 and I got a 1. With my bonuses, it's a total of 21.
Okay. You can describe for us in however gritty and graphic Grey's Anatomy in the in the swamp as you would like to get, that you barely are able to stabilize Zarek by the skin of your teeth and his. You're able to do this. You can describe that for us if you like.
So as I'm multitasking, I'm stripping off and helping him pull back armor and clothes, and I'm digging for bandages at the same time. I'm able to just basically use all of my strength to get the bleeding stopped. And once it gets down to like a dull flow, start binding him as fast and as hard as I can.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but it just, does what it needs to stop the bleeding, which is about what I was able to accomplish.
He will survive this. That's what we're going for. It's not perfect. We have the bare minimum of what we need. He's not gonna die. You are covered in Zarek's blood by the end of this process. And you can now go to yourself and patch yourself up.
Okay. Well, good, another 8. So that's 12 plus
You like hearing 8.
1, 13.
We do.
Plus 6 is 17.
Nice. I don't think you took enough damage in one attack to actually be considered bleeding at this point.
No, but
It was 4, and then the second one was 2. So
Oh, well then no, it would have been moderate wounds at that point. If it's more than 3 in one attack, then so the difficulty would have been 12 for you. And that's yeah, that's easy. You've you've stabilized yourself. Combat ends, and we feel relatively safe at this point.
Halani, before he starts suffering exhaustion, he is going to loot what he can from the bodies. He is also going to cut off the heads and hang them in the surrounding trees.
There you go. As he comes down off of the adrenaline high.
Uh-huh. Probably as I'm like hanging up the last head is when the exhaustion's probably gonna wash over me. And
Okay.
I'm gonna all but collapse by, the camp.
Okay. With that, I think we will close the session for the evening. This was the prologue session to Crypt of the Elephant, and we will be back next Friday on the 26th for the first session of this this adventure. Mike, would you lead us in the closing soliloquies for the evening?
Sure.
Mike, take it away with us.
Sure. So like I said, Halani, he's coming down from that red mist. White knuckle death grip on these hand axes there at the very end. With the bowman, because like he said, he kind of sees a bowman as a coward, someone who wants to shoot and then, run away. He would actually spit on that body before he cut off the head and took what he cut off of it. He doesn't deal with clothes, especially because they don't have armor, but he will take anything weaponry wise and or if they had any provision / money, but anything that's just tattered, not worth it or obviously not worth the effort, he would leave behind.
And I'll get you a list of
that stuff later.
Loot for them. Yeah.
Yep. And then, like I said, he would in fact cut off the heads. He will take his bronze axe and he will completely behead them. And essentially, probably 5 or so feet away from where he found the body, he will quite literally hang it up in the tree by either the hair or he will take a scrap of their clothes or whatever as kind of a warning system to go ahead, fuck around, and find out. And the whole time, like his blood's still pumping, like he knows the exhaustion's coming, but at the same time, he's like, "Fuck, I feel alive again," even though he knows like his guard is almost fucking dead right now because he saw the wound the guy took. At the same time, he is actually very proud of Zarak for taking a hit like that and still trying to fight. He also would have seen, at least in peripherals, what Gree was doing and now understands more of what he meant by his own skill set. And in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I have a guard and a medicine man. This is a good start to a new tribe. Let's hope we can keep him alive. And it's like a half adrenaline rush and a half like the leadership thing coinciding again. And then, like I said before, as soon as he gets done with the last one, he'll kind of have all the equipment. He'll kind of drop it off right before he himself kind of almost face plants by where his bed was. Green and Zarak, and obviously he's not damaged. Zarak, having seen the red mist, would know that Halani is going to be exhausted for a little bit. Gree might have even more questions now, but those can wait a couple hours because Halani is in no mood to speak at the moment. He wants to take a nap. So his brain is kind of, it lingers on before Morpheus takes him again of, I might be able to actually rebuild. These two might actually be worth the effort to rebuild. good.
With that, Alex, would you give us a soliloquy of Zarek, what is passing in his monologue as we speak?
First off, he's gonna. Oh damn it! I didn't flip my character right. I was gonna flip him upside down. He's gonna sit up, and he is going to, while he's taking in what just happened, he's probably covered in his own blood too. He reaches up and gives Gree a good pat on the cheek with a blood covered hand. Leaves a good red palm print against your left cheek there. And he thinks to himself, oh, am I too old for this shit? This is pretty fucking embarrassing. I mean, I thought I was gonna charge in here with this berserk man, but damn near got myself killed. Maybe we take it a little bit slower next time, huh? And yeah, he'll reflect on his near miss. He tells himself, you need to do better. You need to do better. You've lived this long by not being this sloppy. Pick it up, old man. And yeah, he tries to stand, scoots back, and just leans against a tree, and just but for now we're just gonna take it easy until lunch.
Beautiful. And we'll go to Terry. What sort of soliloquy can you give us for Gree's state of mind, and as the stage lights of the theater come down, and the spotlight comes up for Gree to give us a soliloquy before we end the session tonight. What do we see in his heart and mind in these quiet moments?
He's you see him, he's stripped to the waist and completely covered in blood, both his and Zarek's. The bandages that he put on his chest are already starting to bleed through. The bandage on his arm isn't quite as bad, but taking the arrow out was very sensitive. He does go back and forth between himself and Zarek to retighten bandages and check for bleeding, and is just near that exhaustion. This has been all morning, and finally just gets a chance to take a breath and kind of recompose himself. Looks at the state of his companions. One propped up against a tree, the other starting to snore quietly. And he says out loud to no one in particular, well, who's ready for breakfast?
Ah, beautiful.
Just so you know, it is not quiet at all.
Halani does snore like a distant fucking thunderstorm, doesn't he? Oh my god. And with that, we will close the session. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and we will be back next week. Good night, everyone.